Welcome to Smart Ascent, a series on investor success stories.
Hi, this is Pankaj Singh, and today with us we have Sameera Damle, one of the investors in SmartWealth.ai. Hi Sameera.
Hi Pankaj.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So Sameera, to get us started, tell us about yourself.
Right, so Pankaj, I come from a small town, from a town called Surya, from coastal Karnataka. Grew up there, did my schooling, education, everything there in my hometown. Then did my engineering and came to Bangalore. Started working as a software professional for a couple of years. After that, I moved to the business side. So I started working as a technical sales engineer, did product management and business development. So right now, I'm responsible for business development.
This is very nice. So when did your investing journey start, and how did it evolve over a period of time?
See, I think my first investment I did within few years of my career, starting my career. So the first investment, in fact, was a real estate investment in my hometown. I think there was no logic, no goal behind that, but it was more, I think, emotional and suggestion from people that you know. So that was my first investment. After that, I did invest in stocks, fixed instruments, and things like that. Did it for a couple of years, but honestly, it was very random. So there was no structure to it. There was no real study behind it. Sometimes the investment were based on gut feeling, sometimes based on some suggestions by some friends. That is how my investment journey started. So I made some money, I lost some money, and at one point in time I decided to exit this, especially the stock investing, stock and mutual fund investing. And I used that money to do down payment to buy another property. So that's how my initial journey started. In between, I also used fixed instruments for some time. But later on, I started studying about investing. So a couple of books, and also thanks to these influencers going through the content, I learned about investing. And through a friend of mine who is also a financial advisor, I learned about goal-based investing. How do you invest keeping a certain goal in mind, and how do you do structured investing? So all of these I learned from this friend. That's how my investing journey continued, and in between I also signed up for a PMS. Okay. So thinking that once you sign up for PMS, everything is sort of taken care, and your portfolio is managed by experts. With this understanding, I did sign up for PMS, but I realized that it's not really the case. So I did also exit the PMS. Today I do investment in stocks, of course, through SmartWealth, as well as my own stock selections, and mutual funds through my friend who is also a financial advisor.
That's great. So how has been your experience with SmartWealth.ai, and how do you compare that with your prior experience with either direct stocks or PMS or mutual fund for that matter?
Yeah, so SmartWealth, now I'm with SmartWealth for nearly, I think, 2 years. And my experience has been really good, especially compared to PMS, right? So I would say I'm getting much more returns, and I also the good thing is I really understand the concept behind the investment here, right? So, what is the philosophy behind investing? What is the philosophy behind each of the products of SmartWealth is very well explained to the investor. While in case of PMS, I felt though you get once a year webinar, I think this part was really missing, and the growth that I saw with PMS was much lower than what I'm seeing with SmartWealth. I'm still continuing my own stock as well. I'm seeing a decent returns over there, so I'm continuing that. But I must say I have moved most of my stock investment to SmartWealth.
That's great.
Yeah.
So now you have tried a lot of things and continued with some of them, discontinued some of them. So direct stock, real estate, mutual fund, PMS, and then model portfolio like SmartWealth.ai. So having seen all of this, what advice would you like to give others?
I think the first and foremost thing is educating yourself, right? So there is no financial education in our education system. So somebody who finishes graduation, even from a good premium university, ends up in a good job, getting good salary, right? They, most of them don't have any understanding and education on where to invest that money. So a typical advice from the previous generation would be buy a house, buy a real estate, and also there will be friends who will make stock suggestions. But people will not know when to enter, when to exit, and things like that. So I think what is very important is to educate yourself about investing, educate yourself about how do you manage money, how do you build your wealth. And I think one should not enter the trap of early investment into real estate. I think that should come slightly later point in time in life. It's my personal view. That's the first thing, education. The second thing is, I think, discipline. Discipline is very important. You earn, so you should keep aside and you should very clearly, demark a certain amount of your income for investment. So it shouldn't be that you spend all the money and then the rest goes to investment. It should be always demarcated, and you should have that discipline. Do the investment regularly. That was, I think, very important. Yeah. So the third thing I would say is patience. A lot of people miss patience. So based on certain recommendations, you would invest and you would expect immediate returns, which doesn't happen. Sometimes certain investments, there might be a real good logic behind the investment, and for that to realize in the market, it might take longer time. So it's very important to have that patience. That's another suggestion that I would give.
That's great advice. So educate yourself, be disciplined, and have patience.
Have patience. Yeah,
that's fantastic advice, Sameera. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks, Pankaj.
So that was Sameera Damle, one of the investors in SmartWealth.ai.